time for the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by John Emerald Distilling, Southern States Bank, BioLife Plasma, Midas Total Car Care, Vector Ply, and PMB Broadcasting. Now to catch you up on all things River Dragons hockey, let's start tonight's show with Zach DeBozart.
Thank you very much, Brian Thomas, and welcome into the studios here at PMB Broadcasting in Columbus, Georgia. It's time for another John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. It is Tuesday, January 11th. Big weekend for the River Dragons as they defeated the Delaware Thunder. 2 straight games over in Harrington, and just continuing that stranglehold on second place. River Dragons have recently gotten in the standings. We're talking all about it, of course, with the head coach, Jerome. Jerome, how are we doing today?
Couldn't be better. A little chilly out there today, but all in all, pretty well.
I mean, a little chilly out there. Compared to where we're in Delaware, though, it's not that bad.
Yeah, no. Well, but that's why we live in Georgia. It's not supposed to be this cold.
That's right. And our special player guest for today's episode is number 31, Bailey MacBurnie. Bailey, how are we doing?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
We're very excited to get to know about you. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of new guys on the team from where we were in the Ignite Cup Championship. Obviously, at this point in the season, nobody really feels new. We were talking about that with Adam Vanelli, who was on last week's show. He'd only been here like 5-6 games. He was already on the show. Felt like we knew him for ages. So can't wait to learn more about Bailey, how he became a River Dragon, and get to pick his brain a little bit, because you know Jerome, goaltenders' brains are always fun to pick, right?
Oh, boy. Yeah, sure are.
Well, before we get to that, let's talk about the weekend. It's only an hour, Bailey. You'll be fine.
I'm joking.
Let's talk about the weekend that was against the Delaware Thunder. Heading up to play them for the first time in the 21-22 season. They got their first win out of their way on New Year's Day, so they already started 2022 off well. I think that alleviated maybe a little pressure off both teams. To Delaware, when is that first win going to come? And then for us, are we going to be the team that gives them that first win? So what was the mindset heading into that weekend in Delaware, Jerome?
Well, you know what? I mean, they're... glad that they got that first win. Obviously, it takes a little pressure off of us. But you know what? I'm not too concerned about them. If we play the way we need to play, there's not too many teams in the league that are going to, give us problems. And you know what? You got to give Delaware credit. They, everybody in the league. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. Port Huron, Winston, Delaware. Everybody works hard in this league, and when you work hard, good things happen. If you work hard and have some structure involved, and you have your guys all on the same page, it makes it a little easier. And I think that's really when it comes down to us over them. I mean, I think that's what really put us over the top.
Before we even get into the scoring, get into the games, Bailey, you got the start in this one. What was going through your mind when you kind of see the situation in Delaware? Because obviously that rink, not what you would expect from a typical pro hockey rink, obviously very different situation, different atmosphere. Maybe take us through what was going through your mind, and what was it like during the game compared to maybe some other places you played at this year?
Yeah, definitely a different atmosphere. Going from the following weekend playing in Biloxi to then, playing in Delaware, it's battle of the elements, right?
Yeah.
But no, just try and keep it simple and prepare the same way you do every single game, and you go out there and then you perform. But we have a great hockey team, so against a team like Delaware, they made it pretty easy.
In the Friday game, River Dragons come away with a 5-3 win, and it just seemed like every single moment, every goal, every save, every hit, it had a little something building up to it. It had its own different in between, and the first goal of the game, I thought huge, because it comes from Jagger Williamson after, he's been on the show. We've talked with him about it. He knows going back to that building, that's where it happened, and he gets the first goal of the game, 4:05 in. I felt like that was, almost like storybook type writing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good that it happened early too. I mean, I know going up there the week prior, he was Jags was pretty nervous about the whole situation. That's where he had his accident and all that stuff. And quite frankly, he was like, I don't even know if I want to go up there. I'm like, dude, you got to face it at some point, and let's just play it by ear. I mean, hey, make the trip, get there, see how it goes. I might not play you very much. It's kind of up to you kind of thing. And, I know just talking through it before we left, I knew he was going to play and he was going to play well. And just the whole scenario, it was a totally different time of the year. We go up there the first game 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew anybody. There wasn't any continuity, and we had fresh guys and everyone running around. It was very scrambly, and now you go there and it's 3 months in and we're not scrambly. We're fairly. We're not perfect per se, but everybody knows where everybody's supposed to be and usually is type thing. So I think with that, I think that helped out a lot, and it was good to see him get on the score sheet right away.
Yeah, it's got to be a more comfortable feeling when the system's a little more established versus literal game one of a franchise. That whether you're new, whether you're old, whether you got things about buildings or not, you go in. You've got a job to do, and you know what that is going into it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And just comment about the building. Over the weekend, it is a tough place to play because it's glorified men's league. It feels like in the building just because of the atmosphere. There's only 600 people there, and locker rooms. It's basically a practice facility in more places than not. They do an adequate job as far as their amenities and all that stuff. So it is a little different, but it was important to get off to a good start.
Now, a name we're going to hear a lot about in this little weekend recap ties up the game 1-1. Yanni Liorako, 17:42 mark of the first. And I actually look back at this. I don't know how many times this has ever happened in Fed history where in a weekend, one player factors in some way on every goal. Delaware only scored 7 goals. Yanni Liorako finished the weekend with 4 goals and 3 assists.
Yeah, and I wish we're on a TV show because Macker's shaking his head over there. And, you got to give him credit. Yanni can put the puck in that. He's got a good shot. He works hard. Again, it kind of go back to that atmosphere. We allowed them to score 7 goals. We really did. We have to be a little bit more physical. And I don't know what our mindset was going in there, whether we felt sorry for him or what. But the whole weekend, it was really a no-hitter. Nobody finished any checks. Nobody hit anything. And Yanni, especially, is the guy that you need to, take the body on him and always be kind of on him and in him. And we allowed him to kind of do whatever he wanted to do, and he hurt us.
1-1 through 20 minutes of play, and Columbus found themselves with the lead, 2 goals, 1 minute and 8 seconds apart. First Brad Nolan, then Austin Doe, and that would hold up the rest of the way, but really because teams were trading goals back and forth. Yanni Liorako, a power play goal. Petre Antonio answered. Yanni Liorako, an even strength goal for ended up being his hat trick, and then Petre Antonio answered in the third period on a power play. So while we took the lead, we had it, held on to it for the most part, perhaps the fact that it was that close probably doesn't sit too well with you, Jerome?
Yeah, not really. We played well enough to win, and I guess going into that, going into the whole situation, just get out of there and get the 2 wins. And you figure Friday, you throw in the factor of that, but then you also throw in, traditionally in our league, most teams do this, and any other league, I would have left on Wednesday and got there Wednesday night, practice Thursday, sleep overnight, and be prepared type thing. But you know what? On a Friday, we leave Thursday night at 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever, and we get there, and no pregame skate, which I didn't think was a big deal. But you're basically playing after 14 hours on the bus. So considering that, I thought we played all right.
Yeah, I would say so. River Dragons take the 3 points. They get the win. Bailey MacBurnie picks up the win. 20 saves, 23 shots. I feel like you might have been a little underchanged in that one for some of the ones they were pumping at you, because you had some good saves keeping it in it. But I know once I brought up his name, you were sort of shaking your head over Yanni Lirakos. I mean, that game, and we already brought up the atmosphere, but that game was very, very different probably than you'd expect so far as a pro, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It was a little bit different than the rest of the games that we've played this year. But just like anything, you got to take it, one game at a time, and just try and stay in the moment and stay focused, and just next puck, next save, kind of thing.
Is there any moment that stands out to you from that game, picking up that win, that hey, this seemed like it was a turning point for me or a turning point for the team, maybe?
In the third period, they had I believe it was a 4 or 5 minute power play.
All right, the double minor with Pisani.
Yeah, and we really shut them down, and it just felt good to wrap it up like that, just to dominate kind of at the end there. Would like to talk about our captain.
Yeah.
Petro.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know what you're seeing, but man, that guy is playing some great hockey right now. I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want to jinx him, but every time he's on the ice, it's I just feel so much more confident. I don't know if you've been able to really watch him out there, but he's a third defenseman when he's in there scoring goals. So it's
well, you know what, Petro. I mean, he does everything fairly. As far as our league goes, I mean, he does everything really well. I mean, he forechecks, he's back checks, he's strong defensively. He's hard on pucks. He doesn't win, or he doesn't lose too many battles. And if you look at the goals of this weekend, anyways, and you look at the majority of the goals that we get scored on, it's usually a battle that we lost on the boards, and somebody missed. Somebody missed. Kind of a coverage kind of thing. Somebody goes in and tries to hit somebody, and the guy rolls off of him, and he slips in or whatever. And really, like today in practice, I'm like, guys, pretty simple. We're so ready, and they're doing what I ask them to do. I want to be physical, but I mean, I want physical and under control. And you know what? I mean, if you watch Ian Whitey's played 500 games in the NHL. I mean, he's not the fastest guy out there. He never will be, or he won't be anywhere near that. But he is so laid back, and he doesn't even break a sweat half the time.
Yeah, he's good.
And it's just because he's in the right place at the right time. He evaluates. He's very, very cognizant of everybody's surroundings and where everybody is, and everybody needs to kind of watch that. It doesn't matter what position you play, whether you're a defenseman or a forward. Just be aware of your surroundings and be under control. I want my team to be controlled chaos. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want us to be physical. I want us to be bumping and grinding and hard on a forecheck, but all under control. On a forecheck, yes, but on a back check, I need you under control. In the defensive zone, I want to be physical, hit and pin, but under control. And all of our young defensemen are very aggressive, almost too aggressive, where they're out of control, and then they get beat off the wall or beat off of a hit that I went there. And the forwards in this league are fairly shifty, and you know what? They can't beat you if you know where they're at and you just keep them somewhere. So, and I'll take full responsibility, because the way our schedule is, our practice schedule and all that stuff, really don't have a whole lot of time to work on little things like that, which we really do need to. And today we did a little bit of it. And if we had our normal practice schedule where we practice at 10 o'clock in the morning all the time, we wouldn't take Mondays off, and Mondays are work days and physical days, one-on-ones and all that stuff. So I might have to implement that and just bite the bullet and practice at 8 o'clock in the morning, get the guys out of bed on Mondays type thing. But I mean, usually that's what the schedule is Monday's work day, one-on-ones, physical, competition, kind of battle drills. Tuesday, back off a little bit, more system stuff. Wednesday flow, Thursday power play, and hit the road for the game on the weekend.
So I'm asking for a couple of friends. What do the guys have to do to avoid the Monday 8 a.m. practices? What's really the number one to focus on?
Winning our one-on-one battles. We should not lose a battle on the wall. And it's just a matter of, if I'm the winger and I get a pass from the defenseman on the hash marks, and if I can't do anything with it, I need to be willing to eat the puck. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to take a hit and make a play, or take a hit and just eat it and reset and bring it back and walk out the other side of it. And we're to a point where we're not doing that consistently. When we do consistently, we don't play in our end, and we're rocking and rolling. So that's it. And for the most part, we don't play a whole lot in our end. We break out fairly cleanly, or we have over recently, and that's a good thing. But then we have to work on our back checking, which I thought we did last week a little bit, and we had pretty good coverage over the weekend. But still the little things, and you just keep on driving it in their head type thing. Last
thing from the Friday game I wanted to bring up, because actually, Bailey said it, is the double minor high stick picked up by Hunter Bersani, which I initially thought, though I had a bad angle on it, was just a boarding, but he did cut him. He got him up, so 4 minutes. But here's what's crazy out of all of it, and I don't think this is 100% accurate, but it does tell a story of how the last 4 minutes went. Shots on goal to end that game from when Hunter Bersani takes that penalty are 3-1 in Columbus's favor. Now, I think that might be a little more even, 3-3, like maybe one or two didn't get tracked properly for Delaware. But still, the fact that we're up 2 goals and are still able to generate offense down a man for essentially the rest of the game, what does that say?
Well, our penalty kill has been pretty darn good, and I wish I could relay that to our 5-on-5. Like, when we kill penalty, penalty kill is all hard work. Stops and starts, good sticks, and putting the puck in an area where we can control them. 5-on-5 is in D-zone coverage is the same damn thing. But for whatever reason, we tend to forget that, and we're all kind of trying to break out and go offensively. I'm like, guys, we got to take care of this end before we even worry about that end. And if we do our stops and starts, and if we do our, just our hard work and putting the puck in an area where we can control them, where we outnumber them, and then we can break out cleanly. That's kind of the gist of it. And the penalty kill, I think we take pride in it, and we work hard, and
absolutely
all that stuff. And the guys that are on that on the kill have done a really good job.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to finish out, get to the bottom of the hour with the Saturday Delaware game to close out that sweep, and start to talk with our player guests a little bit. Bailey MacBurnie on tonight's John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. It'll continue after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
The Chattahooch's favorite place for spirits in the valley is John Emerald Distilling Company in Opelika. Conveniently located in beautiful downtown Opelika, they're open Monday through Saturday for tours, tasting, and bottle sales. Not in Opelika? No problem. From Birmingham to Columbus, there's plenty of places where John Emerald originals are sold. Check out some of their favorite recipes at johnemeralddistilling.com and give them a follow on social media at JED Spirits on Twitter and Instagram.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Dressing for success is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Wade Cleaners. Drop off your garment at any one of their 5 convenient branches or call their valet manager to pick them up. Go do something fun. Walk your dog, eat a hot fudge sundae, or go to a movie. Leave the dirty laundry to them. Pick up your professionally cleaned garments or have them delivered at no additional charge to your home or office. Yes, you too can dress for success with Wade Cleaners. Oh, and don't forget the little people as you move up in the world.
Stay up to date with everything Columbus River Dragons by following the team on social media. Stay in the know with all the team news on Facebook and Instagram. Get live in-game updates via Twitter. And of course, catch every game on the YouTube page. Following is easy. Search at @C_River Dragons on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. It's never been easier to stay in the loop with your favorite hockey team, so what's stopping you? Drop us a fun comment or send us a message and we may just feature you on the feeds. That's C_River Dragons on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
We are back here on the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. It is Tuesday night between the 6 and 7 o'clock hours. You know we're live here on the River Dragons Radio Network. And, of course, shout out to everybody who's listening in and following along with us on the YouTube channel. These come up in podcast form the day after. And why don't you follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube and all of our social medias. C_River Dragons on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right, guys, spent some time on the Friday 5-3 game. Saturday, looking for the weekend sweep and pull it off. 8-4 victory, convincing score line, but maybe not so convincing through the first 20 minutes for you, Jerome, because 3 goals in the third period separate the teams to make it 8-4, but 3-2 after 1, 5-4 after 2. I mean, before we break down individually who was good and who got what, I mean, it seemed like our stamina, maybe our conditioning, just really powered us through that game because it was a track meet for the most part, it seemed like.
Yeah, you know what, I mean, again, it kind of, the games kind of mirrored each other type thing. I mean, we got out to the first goal, and I mean, just again, they're all little things. I mean, guys trying to do too much at the wrong times, and you know, nobody hitting. You know, and again, it's the same guys that are doing the damage. Liriakos and Marker, and I mean, they really only have one line that can do anything. What I like about the Saturday night game is we got scoring from all 3 lines. Like, everybody contributed, and that's a real positive thing as far as moving forward here. And we don't rely on one line. I mean, obviously, Petro and Dozer and Hunter are lighting things up, but I mean, you got Jagger and MJ, and whether it's Robbie or Jay, we'll be back in the lineup this weekend. Whether it's those guys or, you know, Marquise and Ando and the third line or whatever, they all contributed, and that's what I like, the positive thing. So you know, things look good that way.
Yeah, that line, I mean, you mentioned Marquise Grant Mentis, one of the newer guys to the lineup, and that particular line really got it done during the 8-4 game. Grant Mentis actually picked up first star, 2 goals, 2 assists. He opened up the scoring, 158 in with assist to Dalton Anderson. And then also in this game, I thought was very good, both Robert Van Weinsberg, who scored the next one, and then Jake Huss, who scored what ended up being the last one, 8-4. But guys who had been on the IR for a while come back into the lineup, getting their feet wet, and they find the back of the net, each of them in this game.
Yeah, no, they both contribute on the offensive side, and I think for the most part they played well all weekend. I know Husser didn't get a whole lot of ice over the weekend with Army and this and that. We were kind of rotating 4 guys there on that third line type thing, and unfortunately, if they keep performing like that, might have to put him on the power play too or whatever, and just go with three units. And ultimately, that's my dream.
Good problems to have, right?
That's my dream team. I've always had, for the most part, you know, I don't like number 1, number 2, number 3 line. I got 3 lines, and they're all capable of playing against whoever, and they all capable of being on the power play. That's my dream. That's my dream team.
And they kind of decide for themselves who's the top line of the night, huh?
Yeah, no, and whoever's going type thing. But unfortunately, it's pretty tough not to. It's pretty tough not to pinpoint a top line when, you know, Petro and Hunts and Dozer are rolling like that, and type thing. So we'll see how it goes or whatever when it comes down to it. But again, the 8-4 game, great that we overpowered them. And yes, I think conditioning and I think just you know, I think we kind of kicked the hell out of them in the third period, and they kind of stopped playing as well too. But we have to play a certain way against teams, and we shouldn't veer off our game plan, and that's being physical. And again, it doesn't mean I need bone-crushing hits. I just need guys bumping into people on a forward check. Just hit somebody, stop them from being on the so you're on the right side of the puck. And then when things are coming back, if we finish our checks, Yanni Luriakos doesn't get the puck. Marker's all by himself type thing, and I think that's what we need to really concentrate on moving forward.
Jagger Williamson and Austin Doe each had shorthanded goals in this one, and Petrantonio also got on the score sheet. And Bailey brought up Petrantonio in the last segment, and I ran the quick numbers. 12-game stretch since December 2nd. Petrantonio's in a 12-game point streak. I think we obviously saw that one coming. Goals in 11 out of the 12. 16 goals, 18 assists, 34 points. I mean, basically 3 points per game. It's an unreal streak that the captain's been on right now.
Yeah, no, and you know what? You can't beat hard work. He's a workhorse, and Energy Bunny's in great shape. And I know last year going through what we went through as far as winning it all, Petro really didn't get going until the last couple weeks of the season for whatever reason. And glad he's found it early, that's for sure.
All right, so with that, that's your weekend that was for the River Dragons. 8-4 winners on Saturday to take all 6 points from the Delaware Thunder. They keep themselves in second place. Unfortunately, the Carolina Thunderbirds couldn't offer any assistance. Watertown ends up sweeping them, but we'll get to around the league later on. 667 is the points percentage, 42 out of 63, perfect 2/3. Basically, every time 3 points are on the line, we're taking away 2 at this point in the season. We're joined in the studio by our special player guest today, Bailey MacBurnie. Well, we got some time in this segment. Might as well start in learning about Bailey. You're a Beverly, Massachusetts native. Obviously, more than enough hockey up there to get somebody involved, get someone interested. I mean, is it fair to say hockey was the first sport, or was there other things you eventually gravitated to it? Because Massachusetts is one of those 3 M's, Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Michigan, that's, hockey hotbeds up there.
Yeah. I actually really didn't start playing hockey till I was 9, turning 10.
Wow. That's just real late.
Yeah, just late to it. My dad played collegiately, and he wanted to get me and my younger brother involved, and it took us some time, but me and my younger brother Sean really took off when we went to high school. We went to play Division I high school hockey at St. Mary's in Lynn. And then from there, kind of the rest was history. Kind of took off. We got to play high school hockey together, me and my younger brother, which was awesome. Got to play in that Super 8 elite tournament, which was that young of age, you just become addicted to it. You're playing in front of thousands of people at 16 years old.
That is crazy. Was it when you started? Because you started a little late, 9 to 10. Was it always goaltending right away, or was it eventual? Because I feel like a lot of times we talk with goalies, and there's always a story of I played forward till about X, and then I wanted to be goalie, and then it stuck. Was it always that, or was there ever a time skating out?
Yeah, I got a lot of penalties. Just didn't get the game. My dad told me that I really liked the costume, which was the goalie equipment at 9 years old. But I'll tell you what it was. I think I liked the pressure. I think at a young age I enjoyed always just being involved, knowing that you're ultimately going to win or lose the game for your team. And sometimes it's really tough, but sometimes it's it's a blessing. But it's kind of what happened with me, I think.
Wow. A lot of people run from that pressure, so that's really cool to hear. And then your time at St. Mary's High, there's 2 years that they list on Elite Prospects with that. Really good numbers in them. Sub-2 GAA in both years, .930 and .926 save percentage. And you mentioned playing in front of thousands of people as a 16-year-old. What's that like? Because we just had Adam Vanelli on last week, who's obviously talking about the Minnesota High School Hockey Tournament. And I feel like everybody involved in hockey knows about that. But, Massachusetts goes pretty hard at that particular level too, doesn't it?
Yeah, when I was in high school, at that level, it's not like so much now. It's kind of trickled down to junior hockey. But when I was in high school, every team had a handful of guys that were already committed to Division I schools. So, when we had big games, you had all the hockey schools coming to watch you play, all the Atlantic schools, and the handful of powerhouses throughout the country. But it was pretty awesome experience.
Yeah. Any particular game stand out to you from that? Like, if you knew you had a scout in the building or not, or just maybe a big rivalry? Like,
I'm trying to think here. I got to play against. I was in the Super 8. We got to play against St. John's Prep in the semifinal game to go to the Garden.
Okay.
And I think there was something around it was similar to the Biloxi game. We were at UMass Lowell, I want to say. That was where the game was, or Merrimack. And it was...
it's your story, not mine.
And it was just... You can't even hear yourself talk, that many people.
Yeah.
So it was cool growing up. I knew I wanted to, play hockey at a high level, the highest level I possibly could.
That's awesome. Well, we're here at the bottom of the hour. Let's take this time to take the break now, because we still got a bit to go in here with Bailey. Covered a little bit of his high school, and we'll talk about furthering that, going into college, and how he became a pro, how he eventually became a River Dragon. Once we continue on with the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show, more with Bailey MacBurnie after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
At Southern States Bank, the Common Sense Bank, we're a true community bank that supports the places we serve. Our people live, work, and play in your community. And you will find us cheering for the River Dragons right alongside you in the stands. With convenient locations throughout Alabama and Georgia, we're never too far away to handle any of your financial concerns. Call, click, or come by and see how we can help you make sense out of your banking. Visit us online at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 410611.
Why do more people turn to SunSouth for quality John Deere equipment? Our customers say it best.
The reason I'm a SunSouth customer is because of their customer service and because of their sales staff.
The local service is outstanding. When I think of SunSouth, I think of partners.
Right now at SunSouth, get 0% financing for 72 months on select John Deere equipment. SunSouth, equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires January 31st, 2022.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security. No worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
Before you know it, the weather will get warmer and baseball will be right around the corner. So book your summer weekends early by purchasing a Flight Club membership with the Columbus Chattahoots. Flight Club members receive tickets to every home game at Golden Park as the Hoots try and go back to the Championship Series in 2022. Plus, more awesome perks for all of our members. Visit GoHoots.com to get started on securing your membership for the 2022 Sunbelt Baseball League season. Or call the offices at 706-507-4625.
Welcome back in. John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. John Emerald Distilling, proud partner of Ignite Sports, your Columbus River Dragons, and the Chattahoots. Of course, they are headquartered out in Opelika, Alabama, offering up tours and tastings all throughout the day, all throughout the week. But if you can't make it out to Opelika, a couple of places here in Columbus to go sample their products: Nonick Beer Bar and Kitchen downtown, Jarfly, and the Bottle Shop on Broadway. I'm Zach DeBozart. Jerome Bichart's here in studio with us, as is our special player guest, Bailey MacBurnie. We were learning about him, kind of going through the Massachusetts high school hockey days, and we decided to cut it for the break at the bottom of the hour, but now we're back into it. And out of high school, I was asking you about this because it's so crazy when you kind of like map out, like some guys, they stay to an area, some guys go all over the place. You, for 1 year, just went literally basically opposite side of the world, essentially, when you go from the Northeast, playing Massachusetts high school hockey, to the Trail Smoke Eaters in the BCHL, British Columbia Hockey League, like way west in Canada.
That's over with Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We went at it quite a bit.
So what made you think, hey, I'm going to go all the way, literally the other side of the continent and try your hand at juniors there?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you get to a certain point in a young career where you need to play at an elite level, in order to keep moving up. And the British Columbia Hockey League is, tier 1 in Canada, one of the best junior leagues in the world. And I was getting a lot of attention from a lot of Division I schools, a lot of colleges. And when I committed to Sacred Heart University, they basically said, hey, you have to go play a year of juniors. So that's where I ended up going, and it was a really great experience. I had an amazing billet family. Got taken really good care of there, and the travel is very similar to what we're doing today, so it prepares you.
I guess so. The 2015-16 season is where you were there, and Jerome kind of mentioned it. BCHL, it's where Jagger played. Vernon Vipers. Was there a rivalry? Was there any notable?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember playing Jagger?
Oh yeah, we didn't like each other.
No kidding.
Yeah, there was actually, he almost had a goalie fight with his goalie over there at Vernon, which would have been wild.
So last 2 weeks ago wouldn't have almost been the first time.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have happened. But no, Jags.
Apparently Jags is not a well-liked little player.
Nice enough guy off the ice. We all love Jags.
Yeah, no, I remember playing against Jags. He was tough to play against. He had a team handful of NHL prospects, guys that that'll be in the NHL.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a great team as well.
So 2015-16 BCHL, then you mentioned do your juniors, get yourself to college, and you ended up spending 4 years at NCAA D3's UMass Boston. But you mentioned Sacred Heart. I don't know if you wanted to get into that at all, but your UMass Boston numbers, I mean, obviously very consistent, very good. 6 shutouts across your 4 years there, including, looks like your best record was an 18-7-1 your junior year. Take us through college. UMass Boston had to be real good going to school back home near Beverly, right?
Yeah, it was awesome finally being able to live somewhere close to home. Living in Boston. It was a really great experience. Had a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people. We had a really talented hockey team the majority of the years that I was there. My junior year, we won the conference. My junior and sophomore year, I think we were nationally ranked top 5, top 10. So it was, made the national tournament. It was a really great time.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a big thing too. And I mean, of course, just again, playing UMass doesn't really matter, the division, you got that name behind it. It seems like it's a pretty big deal. It's usually a school that's got a very good program, whether it was, because you told me Amherst, Lowell, all the other different UMasses out there, they're all very good in that area.
Yeah, our head hockey coach was Peter Belisle, whose father, I believe his name is the famous Bill Belisle, who coached at Mount St. Charles, and he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame for coaching, and it was taken very, very seriously there.
Jerome, you said we were talking during the break, just kind of going over the college bits, and you said you knew one of Bailey's coaches, right?
No, Norm was in Lowell, Mass.
Oh, Lowell, Mass. My bad.
I played with him in Birmingham in the East Coast League earlier in my career. He's a Winnipeg, Manitoba native, and just a good little hockey player. And now he's he's been there for 10, 12 years there, if not longer. I don't even know. But really good coach. Got a great eye for talent, and he's just salt of the earth type of guy you want to play for.
So finish out with UMass Boston. That is the 2019-20 season, and absolutely nothing notable happened during that season, of course, we all know. But you've been playing hockey. You said you started late, 9-10 years old, so basically been playing hockey for 15 years, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
What's the decision to say, let's keep this going, let's try and go pro? Because you feel like there's a handful of guys, obviously, the NCAA loves to talk about, well, not everybody goes pro and whatever, but as a hockey player, you kind of have to make that assertion. If you're not at the very top being drafted, you want to continue this. So what was that decision like for you to say, hey, I'm gonna try up and get into the pro ranks?
Yeah, so I had an agent reach out to me after my junior season, great guy, and I actually ended up getting injured my senior year, so I didn't actually have the greatest season I wanted to, or we wanted to, but ended up signing a contract in Hungary. I was going to go play professional hockey in Hungary, but COVID hit.
Right. Yeah.
So
international travel shuts down real quick.
Yeah, and then talked to a bunch of teams in the Southern Professional Hockey League, and then Quad City protected my rights for 2 years, and they didn't end up having a season. And then so didn't end up playing the 2021 season, and then ended up going to camp, deciding I wanted to play. Going to camp in Quad City, and that's where I met Jay Krupp. So me and Jay,
quite a guy, huh?
Oh, such a great guy. And me and him ended up sitting next to each other in Quad City, and had no idea who Jay's background, or just speaking with him and playing with him. He's just a good friend, great teammate, great guy, and he ended up telling me that him and his family own a hockey team down in Columbus, Georgia. So here I am.
You want to talk about the hard recruiting pitch sitting right next to the guy?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one thing Jay's pretty good at is recruiting. I mean, at the end of the day, like we had, we got Rutsy here, we had Sean Kuhn here, and Jay's like, we need this kid. He's rock solid. He's best in the league, and this and that, and so kind of got him down here, and kind of we're. I mean, it's as a coach. I mean, and Kuhner's quite capable goalie as well, and I mean, with our training camp, we never really had a training camp type thing, and I'm a true believer of giving people opportunities, and my word is all I got. And you came in, you were ready, but I wasn't ready. So I'm like, hey, just sit tight type thing, and we'll make our decision at some point or whatever, and then things work out. And really, just as far as playing, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter where you play. I mean, at this level, whether it's in the SPHL or this and that, I think you got a taste of what pro hockey is or whatever. Mm-hmm. When we were with the Cottonmouths, I mean, everyone was, back then it was the Central League was still going, and the East Coast League was still going, and everybody has aspirations coming out of D3 or D1 or whatever. I'm going to play in the Coast and up or whatever, and you go there, and East Coast League, most of the guys are contracted with NHL contracts, and then they already have their veteran guys, and for a young guy to break in there, you really have to be a stud. Mm-hmm. So you bounce around, and in the East Coast League, and you're on 5 different teams, and you're just a fill-in guy. You go from here to here to here, and I think Bailey, you can say, hey, that wasn't for you, and really, that's what Columbus River Dragons are all about. That's what the Cottonmouths were about, where you guys, what, I want you to go wherever you want to go and play at the highest level possible, but at the end of the day, it's a family, and let's do something here, and let's win something here, and be a part of something in Columbus, and whether it's 1 year or whether it's 5 years, I mean, at that point, it's a matter of, you're not going to make a whole lot of money wherever you go, and it's a matter of finding that the coach, the general manager, and the team that actually cares about you a little bit, and you're just not a number, and you're here one day and you're out the next type thing or whatever. And not saying I never have to cut anybody, because that's the worst part of my job, but for the most part, that's what we want here, is some continuity and guys that want to be here and this and that.
Closing the book on the story of Bailey MacBurnie so far, right now, first pro season here in Columbus. Your numbers: 5-2-2, 2.79 goals against, 919 save percentage. Those last two sitting top 3 in the league, and already got your first assist as a pro goalie. But I think the number everyone's interested in most talk with you about is 15 PIMs from 2 weekends ago. In the ended up being a split shutout. So unfortunately, neither you nor Jared Rutledge officially gets credit, because I guess that's how they break it down. You don't do half a shutouts, but you ended up getting the win in that game, and got yourself tossed a little goalie fight. Take us back through that. I know the fans want to hear it.
Yeah, what a weekend. What a group of guys. So to be honest with you, it needed to happen, needed to get it out of the way. I thought it was a perfect opportunity. Up 6-0. Saw Jags get like I'm not sure if it was a trip or something nasty, but naturally I just found myself like out of the net, just I just wanted to check it out. And
I mean, there was a whole scrum. I know Frazier and I think it was Barr.
Yeah,
they were fighting, and nobody in the rink seemed to care as soon as you were hauling, getting towards the red line.
Yeah, he came out and. He took his helmet off, and he was much bigger than I thought he was. He was, he had to have been around, a big boy.
I think he wanted to get out of the net.
Might have, yeah.
Get out of the net. You had a shutout going. And maybe you wanted to get out so you could keep your shutout going, because we were playing against Port Huron, and we only gave up like 5 breakaways up until that point, I think, and we probably
only
gave up 5. A few more.
Yeah, it was. It was just wanted to kind of get it out of the way. That'll probably never happen ever again. But it was good. Got hit, threw a few, and that was it. But I will say, kind of back on what Jerome was saying, we definitely have something special here. We have a really great core group of guys, and it'll be tough. There'll be a lot of phone calls, and for myself and other people, but it'll be tough to leave this place. We've got a great coach who's really putting a solid system in place, really harping on defense, and what's really awesome about that is that we're not even close to our full potential yet. So it's gonna be an exciting finish to this year, I think.
Nice. Well, that's good. Well, we appreciate learning about you, Bailey. Thanks so much for letting in some of the past history of yourself, and can't wait to see what the rest of the season produces for sure. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we close out tonight's John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. We got to look ahead to this upcoming weekend. It's Jerome's favorite. It's the Port Huron Prowlers, and it's a 3-set up in McMorran. Tell you all about it after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
The Chattahooch's favorite place for spirits in the valley is John Emerald Distilling Company in Opelika. Conveniently located in beautiful downtown Opelika, they're open Monday through Saturday for tours, tasting, and bottle sales. Not in Opelika? No problem. From Birmingham to Columbus, there's plenty of places where John Emerald originals are sold. Check out some of their favorite recipes at johnemeralddistilling.com and give them a follow on social media at JED Spirits on Twitter and Instagram.
Dressing for success is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Wade Cleaners. Drop off your garment at any one of their 5 convenient branches or call their valet manager to pick them up. Go do something fun. Walk your dog, eat a hot fudge sundae, or go to a movie. Leave the dirty laundry to them. Pick up your professionally cleaned garments or have them delivered at no additional charge to your home or office. Yes, you too can dress for success with Wade Cleaners. Oh, and don't forget the little people as you move up in the world.
At Southern States Bank, the Common Sense Bank, we're a true community bank that supports the places we serve. Our people live, work, and play in your community. And you will find us cheering for the River Dragons right alongside you in the stands. With convenient locations throughout Alabama and Georgia, we're never too far away to handle any of your financial concerns. Call, click, or come by and see how we can help you make sense out of your banking. Visit us online at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 410611.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward. And we're taking you there. Progress. Your Beam. Your way.
Looking to update that hockey game day wardrobe? The best place to do that is to visit the online home for all River Dragons licensed apparel, ourdragonsmerch.com. With new designs coming out all the time and special promotional and sale offers always live, there's always a reason to check back to the site and score some new gear. Plus, lots of fun souvenirs and other knickknacks that make great gifts for all sorts of occasions. So get there to ourdragonsmerch.com, the official store for all team licensed apparel. That's ourdragonsmerch.com.
Back here one more time on the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show on this Tuesday, January 11th. Happy to have you along. I'm Zach DeBozart. He's Jerome Bichard, and Bailey MacBurnie is with us as well. Just learned a lot about Bailey MacBurnie in the last segment or so, how he became a River Dragon, and obviously very excited for what the rest of the season has for him and his teammates. The immediate future tells us it's a trip up north to the Mitten State, taking on the Port Huron Prowlers at McMorran Arena. 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Jerome, you and I were talking. That's Sunday game 6:05. So nice knowing you Monday, I guess, by the time we get back into town. But 3 big games coming up against a team that we're quite familiar with at this point in the season, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we've definitely loved to, or learned to love them.
That's a good way to put it.
I guess they play hard. They play kind of right on the edge of being dirty, and I like to think we can play it either way. We can play dirty and we can play mean if we need to, or we can just go and play hockey the right way and see what happens. But no, I think going in there, Friday is going to be important. Again, we're doing the same kind of thing. So Friday night's going to be a big test, jumping off the bus and after a night on the road and getting up there and getting off to a good start. And I mean, we just got to eliminate breakaways, eliminate opportunities, and really, I mean, we're going to do video tomorrow, and we haven't watched a whole lot of those games. And really, it's all little things. It's all body positioning off of face-offs. Prior, in the first segment, we were talking about winning battles on the wall. Well, we got to win battles off face-off. I mean, guys, it doesn't matter who it is. They'll have a defenseman shoot through. They'll have Dalton or Jay shoot through. And, I mean, wingers, we need to be aware of that, and we just kind of need to jump in their way. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to give up what we gave up 2.5 weeks ago.
Is there an incentive number in the room? Like, I know,
0.
All right, there you go, 0.
Yeah, it's unfathomable how we do that, and as far as our decor, I don't understand how we get so separated. I can see it a little bit in the offensive zone how our coverage is. If we have the puck offensively, I want 3 guys atop, kind of the top of the blue line. So you got a defenseman, a forward in the middle, and another defenseman out wide. When we have full control of the puck, that's kind of our spots, and we go into a cycle and we can kind of go wherever. But as soon as we lose control of the puck, our weak side defenseman has to pull out through the middle and cover the middle no matter what. Even though we do have a forward high, it's just hockey 101. I mean, and kind of the same thing on a regroup or this and that. We need to keep our defense kind of in sync, and with they should always be within 20 feet of each other, supporting each other no matter what, and that forward in the neutral zone needs to check the weak side lane or this and that. And believe me, we've been working on it. It hasn't. You probably can't tell we've been working on it, but I mean, I'd say about 5 or 6 times a game we do it, and I'm like, guys, this is where I tell our forwards, how often does a coach tell you to be lazy and just sit there and stand there? Not very often, but I literally, that's all I need guys to do sometimes, is just sit there and stand there. Yeah. Let those 2 other guys do their job, and we just sit there and keep the game in front of us. It's a pretty easy game.
Bailey, in the young pro career, a 2-1 record against Port Huron for yourself, plus a goalie fight. So that's obviously a unique situation for you, but I mean, just unique in general playing Port Huron. We always talk about it with Jerome. They're a different team than it seems like any others. Whether you play high school, college, pro, Port Huron's just a different animal, aren't they? Yeah.
To be honest with you, they are very similar to us in a lot of ways. I think that they've been together for a little bit, and I think the core group guys here have been together for a little bit, so they just keep coming. You know what I mean? They could be down 6-0 after the first period.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep coming.
Yeah, they don't stop.
So you got to be ready for them.
The 2-1 game in Biloxi, you had 35 saves on 36 shots. To be honest with you, I remember talking with the production crew that went with us there. I mean, for me, I thought that was one of your best, if not the best game we had seen so far to that point from you in the season. What do you remember from that one? Because obviously that is a very that's a very different style of game, because when you talk about Port Huron, very rarely do you see 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
But you were playing well, so was their netminder, and it was just a very good defensive hockey game.
Yeah, we're a little bit different on the road than how we perform at home. That's definitely been something that we're trying to work on.
Yeah.
But I'll say in that game where we won 2-1, we really limited those 2-on-1 chances. We didn't give them as many 2-on-1s as we have in the past, and I think that's where we were able to keep them off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Well, Port Huron plays pretty much a straight line game. They got 2 or 3 guys. Most of them, all of them can skate, and they put pressure on you with guys just busting through the middle, and they put pressure on you that way. And they always have their sticks on the ice. They always have guys going to the net, driving hard to the net or whatever, and that's how they create a lot of their offense. And we need to be prepared for that. Our D have to be up and gapped up, and we know that they're going through. And ultimately, on the offensive side, on our side, that's what I'm trying to get our guys to constantly do, is to have that center drive and put pressure on the other teams to either I'm going to make an unbelievable play to you and you're going to be in on a breakaway, or 2, you're pushing back the defense to open up something else on the far side or whatever. And Port Huron's number 1 line, they really do that. They really do that. And then really, they're a lot like Danbury and even Binghamton and probably some Watertown guys. They have players that probably don't go on the road, that play at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to see a different team than what we did 2.5 weeks ago here.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday set at the McMorran Ice Arena in Port Huron. 7:05 puck drops on Friday and Saturday. 6:05 puck drop on Sunday. Of course, as always, half-hour pregame show. The Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show starts up on the radio network and on the YouTube page as well. And hey, for those of you in the area with the television, over the air, we will be live on Bounce 9.2 for the Saturday game. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, 7:05. Sunday at 6:05. Elsewhere around the league, Thursday starts up this weekend with Watertown at Danbury. Carolina and Delaware will play a Friday, Saturday, Sunday set, with Saturday and Sunday being.
Who do we want that one? Who do we want to win on that one?
I don't know. That might be a just both teams have fun type game. Honestly, I don't know who you want to win that one.
We're trying to stay on top of Danbury, but we're trying to catch Watertown. So.
That's right. So Watertown, Danbury Thursday, and then Friday Danbury's at Binghamton. Saturday Binghamton's at Danbury, and then Sunday Watertown is at Binghamton. So the Northeast all trades off Dan's partners. Carolina and Delaware do a little home and home, and then we make the long trip up to McMorran. Should be a lot of fun. Just another weekend in the Fed, and then we get ready for a home stint, 8 straight games when you figure bye weekends thrown in there too. But 5 in a row to end January at home, which will be very nice. And of course, Carolina Thunderbirds coming to town after this Port Huron weekend. It's Education Night presented by Kinetic Credit Union on Friday. Saturday is a McDonald's 4 for $48 deal, which we tell you all about during the broadcast. And then Sunday, I think it's our first Sunday at home throughout the season as well. So you want to come out for those. That's your next chance to see the River Dragons at home, 21st to 23rd of January. Tickets available, Civic Center box office or on Ticketmaster. Jerome, thanks as always for your time. We appreciate it. And Bailey, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we loved having you on, and cannot wait to do this again at some point. It's the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. That'll do it for another episode. We will see you on Friday night when we come to you live from Port Huron. Until then, have a good one. You've been listening to the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
You've been listening to the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. Tonight's show was brought to you by John Emerald Distilling, Southern States Bank, BioLife Plasma, Midas Total Car Care, Vector Ply, and PMB Broadcasting. All rights to this broadcast are reserved for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of the show may not take place without the express written consent of Ignite Sports and Entertainment and PMB Broadcasting. This has been a presentation of the Columbus River Dragons Hockey Club.